Goodness. Okay, are we okay now? So no one heard anything I said, right? All right, so let me start all over again. Michelle, are we okay now?
I'm just going and checking. 1 second. Yes, I could see you and hear you fine, but let me just open the page and make sure that you are now broadcasting live. There is a little bit of a delay, which makes it interesting.
Yes, I know. These Google Hangouts are always a ton of fun. But I did totally forget to hit start broadcast. So sorry,
Yes,
everybody.
all good now. You're right to go. So yes, you're just starting now.
Okay. All right, everybody. So I was sitting here talking to myself, just like I said I was afraid that I'd be doing. So that's okay. All right. So let me introduce you to, you just heard Tech Empress Michelle. She's going to be in the chat on our page. You can chat through Facebook there with each other. We'd love for you to do that because the energy is so wonderful. And also part of our Sparkle team with us tonight is Sparkle Chieftess Dawn. She's also there helping out and answering questions for you there. And I'm Hibiscus Moon, so welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Again, sorry I was late. I was talking, but I forgot to hit start broadcast. So sorry about that. So just so you know that you're in the right place, I am Hibiscus Moon. I'm the founder of Hibiscus Moon Crystal Academy and author of the book Crystal Grids, How and Why They Work. And I am very, very grateful to all of you for showing up here tonight and bringing your collective energy to this event because they always prove to be so much fun. I'm really, really excited to share this information with you tonight. We did this last year, and it proved to be a great, great evening. So if you're not familiar with who I am, let me just give you a little bit of information about myself, and then we'll dive deep into the crystal content. So I started out loving crystals at a very young age. At the age of 3, my father had an old museum book. Well, at the time it was probably new, from the Smithsonian with all kinds of natural minerals and all these beautiful colors and shapes, and I just was mesmerized. I fell in love with them. Didn't know, that the earth could produce such beauty from within, and always was very attracted to them. And then got more interested in them when I was in college from a geology point of view. And then I was also interested in metaphysics and didn't realize how they could go together. And then I heard that you could use them metaphysically, but I didn't really understand it. And I had no idea what you could do with them metaphysically, that there was a spiritual connection. But as the years went on, I became a science teacher, then a science department head, and I started merging the two together, learning more and more, doing my own research and finding out more ideas. And I started YouTubing about it much later on. And over the last 7 years, I've helped thousands of people learn the science and fun behind crystal healing so that they can heal themselves and help others. And I started out doing that on my YouTube Crystal channel, started the channel back in 2007, and then my blog shortly thereafter. And it was actually, and I have to give total props, and I'm so grateful, it was due to my YouTube friends and viewers and the community there that actually started this whole thing. And they encouraged me to write a book about crystal grids. It was the first of its kind. There was no information at that time on, a book about crystal grids. They encouraged me to start the academy. And I'm so, so grateful to you all that are still out there for urging me to do that, because they saw, I guess, and really resonated with the fact that I was talking about science and talking about the metaphysics of crystals. And I was just, talking about what I loved, but they loved it too. And I'm just so grateful that we all connected and found each other that way. So our academy, the Hibiscus Moon Crystal Academy, has had hundreds of students graduate as certified crystal healers all over the world. And through our academy, we've had people who've completely transformed and healed their lives and improved in so many different areas, the lives of themselves and the lives of others, by learning the science behind how all of this works. So I'm so excited about tonight. I'm really nervous because there are a lot of you in here. Last year there were a lot. And yesterday I was looking at the numbers to see how many people had registered for the event, and I sent an email to Dawn and Michelle because there was a glitch in the system and it looked like there was only 54 people or something like that. And I was like, what? Because I know last year there was a bunch more, and we have a lot bigger reach this year. We just reached like 200,000 people on the Facebook page, and I'm like, why is there only 54 people? Well, there was a glitch, and there's a lot more than that, and there's a lot more today. So I'm just a little bit, woo! So a little, you know, way high energy and nervous right now. So I hope that doesn't distract you too much. And at the end of tonight's event, I'll be showing you my super popular prosperity crystal mojo kit that you can easily make yourself. I get asked about it all the time because it works like a charm. So have a paper and pen ready to jot down how to do that. Now I'll show you. I have all the stuff right here. So just to center myself and get everybody's energy kind of cohesive and centered, I'm going to start off with a little centering prayer. And if you have a crystal nearby or you brought a crystal with you, please go ahead and hold it. Let's see. I am going to, so I can focus, use my fluorite octahedron here so that I can kind of center and focus myself. I always have a selection of things and just kind of choose intuitively which one. So go ahead and hold your crystal and breathe some deep, nice inhales, some breaths, and see yourself as a shining light. And I'm going to read a short, inspiring prayer written by author Tony Carmine Salerno. And see yourself as that shining light as I read through this little prayer. I will love myself enough today to allow the light of my soul to shine through and reveal my inner beauty, my truth, and my purpose. Take a nice big inhale, the deepest inhale you've taken all day. Fill your lungs up with air. Whew, and exhale it all out. Okay, that really helped to center me. I needed that. I needed that badly. Okay, I hope you all are feeling good. All right, so if you're wondering what is all this, what's this event here, you know, you're busy, you've got a lot to do tonight, or you've got other things you'd rather do, maybe you want to go watch The Real Housewives or something, I don't know. Should you spend an hour here with me? Here's some things for you to know, just so you know what I'm going to cover. If you love crystals, but you're just not sure exactly how to use them to heal yourselves and others, you're absolutely in the right place. I love to show people how to use them and give them actionable items and things that you can do. If you have a bunch of crystal books and you've been reading and reading, or you've learned from others and you've taken like a little workshop here and a little class there, but you never really feel like you're really grasping it and understanding and coming away with something actionable, and you want to know and understand the science behind how and why they work, then you're in the right place. And if you'd like to, you know a lot about crystals, but you really want to ultra boost your confidence in working with them. You want to be able to stand up to the naysayers, the people who are saying that this is just a bunch of woo-woo stuff, but you still want to have fun with it, then this is what I do. This is what I'm known for. So you're in the right place if that's you. So we're going to cover some really good stuff tonight. Just to recap what we're going to go over, I'm going to teach you a step-by-step method to determine which crystal is the best one for you to work with at any given time. I'm also going to give you several methods to tap into crystal energy, and I'm going to reveal the most important component of crystal healing. The most important. So grab a pen and paper. We're going to dive right into the content, okay? And please feel free to join in on the chat that we have on the event page. You can do that through Facebook. We love to work with the live energy of these events and have lots of fun with it. And like I said, Tech Empress Michelle is in there, and Sparkle Chiefess Dawn is in there. They're part of our Sparkle team. So have fun with it there. We have a lot of our former students there, I know, and current students there. So it's a lot of fun. So let's start with how to determine your best crystal. And please note that I will give you as much content as I can possibly squeeze in here tonight. I really want you to experience what working with crystals is like and take away, like I said before, some actionable items. Take away some really good, juicy things that you can do right away. I can't give you, of course, everything I know in an hour, so I'll also be telling you how you can get more if you're called to do that. All right, so how to determine your best crystal, the crystal that you should be working with right now. Okay, so a lot of us read books, we've got a lot of information, and you get overwhelmed. I just wrote a blog post about this. And we get overwhelmed by how many minerals and crystals there are out there. All minerals are crystals, and people think that you need to know more in order to be a crystal healer. You need to memorize all their properties. You need to do all this before you can actually work with them seriously or use them to help heal yourself or others. And really that's not the case, because there are over 4,500 minerals and counting. They're finding more and more every day. I highly doubt anybody has memorized them all, let alone memorize them all and their properties. So that is not the way to go. That is not the way to, that's setting yourself up for failure right there. So I feel the most powerful way to work with your crystal and to figure out which is the best crystal for you right now, here in this moment, is to use your intuition. And we're going to discuss more about why that's so powerful. So forget about what the books say. The books are guides. They're great reference tools, but they work for, most of the population, what they say. For instance, you open up a book and it says amethyst is great for protection and it's great for calming. Okay, but someone else might pick up an amethyst and say, I don't get that from amethyst at all. It's really like, hyper energy to me, or it's very healing to me. It's not those things. And those people are not wrong if they're not feeling that same thing from amethyst. We are all individuals. Yes, we're all part of the one, but we all have a varying vibrational frequency, the dominant oscillatory rate. And we're all slightly different. And because of those slight differences, we're not all going to feel the same thing from the crystals. So I prefer, and I feel that you should come at your crystals without preconceived notions. And it's hard because if you're here, you probably already have a lot of preconceived notions. You already know a lot about the crystals, but try to come at the crystal fresh with a clean slate, no bias, no preconceived notions of what that crystal is about. And tapping into your intuition is going to allow you to connect to that crystal better. So I recommend meditating with a crystal first before reading about the crystal, finding out about that crystal, creating a bond with that crystal, and then later cross-reference what you got from that crystal, what messages you received, how it works with you, and then see what the books say. And maybe look at 2 books and cross-reference it. 85% of the time, it's going to be the same, and you're going to get validation from the books. But because if you don't get that validation, don't feel you're wrong or that you don't know what you're doing, because your intuition is the most powerful way to tap into that crystal's energy. So how do we do an intuition meditation? A lot of people are like, yeah, okay, that's great, but I don't know exactly how to do this. It's very easy, much easier than you think. Okay, so I suggest you choose one stone. And please don't try to get carried away with it or get distracted or feel like, well, there's so many stones. I mean, you just said there's 4,500 minerals out there. I got a lot to go through. I need to do more than one stone at a time. Try to stick with one stone for a week. It's okay. This is just to get you into the mode of, learning about a crystal. And once you have pretty much like a kit of 5 stones that you know really, really well, believe me, you are better equipped than most people out there who think they know a lot about crystals and stones. If you've got a kit of 5 that you know really well, that you have a bond with, you are way ahead of the game. So 1 stone for the week. If you can commit to that, we're good to go. Then get yourself into alpha state. Now, there's a lot to it and discussing what alpha state is, but just for making it concise, alpha state is going to put you in a brain wave state, an actual physical brainwave state that is the same as when you're daydreaming. Okay, and so you're awake and aware, but you're very relaxed and very receptive to all kinds of intuitive messages. You're clairs, okay, we call them. There's clairaudience, clairsentience, clairkinesthetic, clairvoyance. There's all different types. Okay, we all have a gift for one that might be stronger than another. But when you're in alpha state, it comes in very clearly. And how to get there quickly? The easiest way, let me tell you right now, is go on YouTube, type in alpha brainwave state meditation, and you'll get a slew of videos and meditations that you can just watch for 5 minutes. Just carve out some time, some quiet time to just listen to that for 5 minutes, and it will easily entrain your brainwave state and put you in alpha state. Okay? And then you're holding your crystal, you're in alpha state, and pay attention to any messages that you receive. And do this for 5 to 10 minutes. You don't have to do this for very long. If all you have is 5 minutes, then just do 5 minutes. And pay attention to anything you may receive during that time. Okay? And do this for 3 to 4 days in a row and journal. Now, what are you journaling about? You don't have to journal immediately after the meditation, although that's a good idea. And you might be wondering, well, I didn't get anything during the meditation. Well, that's not the only thing you're paying attention to. You're going to pay attention to everything that's occurring over that 3 to 4 day period or over that week-long period. Okay, you're going to pay attention to events that occurred, synchronicities that occurred, dreams that you had, daydreams that you had, unexpected events, or any intuitive hits that you got during the meditation itself. And again, those can come in different ways. They can come through actual physical sensations, through scents, through sounds, through a taste that you may have tasted. You've got to tap into all your different senses. Don't rule anything out. Write it all down. Maybe you can write it down at the end of the day before going to bed. And then when you're done with the 3 to 4 day period or finished for the week, look over what you've journaled and highlight any common themes. You will notice a theme. And that is the theme of the crystal for you. That is how that crystal is going to work best for you. This allows you to really deeply bond with that crystal, and it lets you know this crystal for you is all about healing or whatever it is. Okay, so let me tell you a quick little story about my rose quartz buddy. I have lots of different rose quartz, but this is the one I call my buddy. Those of you that have known me a while, you've heard this story over and over, but I just love to tell it, so I'm going to tell it again. I've had this crystal a long time, and it's always been like my comforting buddy. When something is going on that's making me feel uneasy, I would sit with it during that time, and it always makes me feel better. And so I know for me, it's comfort. This rose quartz is comfort for me. So one night, I have a really close bond with it. I've done this exercise with this specific crystal. And when you have a close bond with a stone, I'm not saying that something exactly like this will happen, but stories similar to this, I hear this again and again and again from my students. So I had it with me, and something had happened during the day, and I took it with me, and I just placed it over my chest while getting ready to go to sleep, and was doing just not necessarily a conscious meditation, but just a relaxation with the stone over my chest, over my heart chakra. And it allowed me to calm down into a nice sleep, and I went to sleep. And I was so calm, I forgot to set my alarm. And in those days, I had to get up very early, and I used to set 2 alarms because I am not a morning person. And I completely forgot to set both alarms. Fell asleep with this rose quartz in the bed, and it ended up somewhere in the bed. And the next morning, I used to wake up at exactly 6:15 a.m. And the next morning, I rolled over, and you can see this is not a nice smooth crystal. I rolled over with my backbone right over the ridge of this crystal. It jarred me in the back. It just, poked me right in the back, jarred me awake. And I went, ah! And I turned around and I looked, and I was like, wow, I'm like really surprised at this crystal that, my buddy did that to me. That thought actually went through my head, that my buddy, just jabbed me in the back. So I look at the clock, and it was exactly 6:15 a.m. Exactly, to the minute. So the crystal made sure, not only did it help me get to sleep and slip into a nice deep slumber and calm me down, but my rose quartz buddy made sure I did not oversleep, and I got up and got to work on time and had a, you know how that can set you up for a terrible day if that happens. So I just always tell that story because it just goes to show you what a clear, good, bond with a crystal can lead to those kinds of stories that you hear about, or that I hear about over and over again. Okay, so several methods. Let's get into this. Several methods to tap into crystal energy. There's lots of different ways. We talked about using your intuition, and that there's many different kinds of clairs, we call them. So you have, some of us are very good listeners. We learn easily through our listening skills, and we call those people, usually their intuitive senses around clairaudience are very heightened. All right, and sometimes, people are clairvoyant, and you've heard about all those different things. So using your intuition is one method, just one method for tapping into crystal energy. But it's not the only one. So if you feel like you're not there yet, or you haven't, there's ways of strengthening those intuitive clairs. There's different practice exercises and things that we can do. But if you feel like you're not quite there yet, you don't have to rely only on that. Of course, we have the known properties. Like I said, that those work for about 85% of the population, and we have infinite number of books, well, not quite, but almost, right, on crystal energy that we can use. And, there are some well-known and well-loved books, and, the ones with like encyclopedia of information in there. So you can always turn to the known properties. I like intuition better, but always using the books as a backup or reference is wonderful too. Like I said, you can always cross-reference what you've come up with from intuition. Going into meditation and just seeing what messages you get is another method for tapping into crystal energy. We spoke about that. Using dowsing methods, and there's various different types of dowsing. Pendulums. Okay, this is a pendulum that I received recently. It's kind of a fancy one, but it doesn't need to be a fancy pendulum at all. I have a video on my YouTube channel where I have I show the old pendulum I used to use that was not fancy in the least. It was the least fanciest pendulum, but they all work. So one thing you can do is you can set up an array of crystals across a table that you might be considering working with, and maybe you're not sure which crystal is the right one, which one is the one you should be working with. You set up an array, and you go through each one, and you ask your pendulum a yes or no over each crystal and see, is this the crystal I should use to help me with this situation? Is this the crystal I should use in my crystal grid? Is this the crystal I should meditate or carry with me or what have you? And use your pendulum to figure that out. Or another dowsing medium, and one that you'll need a little bit more room for, are dowsing rods. These are copper dowsing rods. And you need a little bit more room because you need, well, they have smaller ones. These are kind of large ones. They have smaller ones, but you need enough room to get a reaction from your dowsing rod. So again, you set up your crystals in an array across a table or something like that, and you just check over each crystal, and if you know how to use dowsing rods, you look for a reaction from the rods. You check and see if there's any movement. See right here over my rose quartz, I'm getting a wide opening. Now, not in the good setting right now, and I didn't ask a yes or no question, but I am getting a reaction. Probably the energy torus of the rose crystal is giving a reaction. But my black tourmaline is a little bit close here, and now they just closed up a little. Oh, a lot. Okay. But you have to really spread out the crystals so that you have enough room to get a proper reading from your dowsing rod. So you might need to use like a dining room table, spread out your crystals, and you can use your dowsing rods that way. There's other dowsing mediums, but those are just two. Okay. Another way is to look at the crystal system. All right, let me just take a sip of water here really quick. Okay. So there are 7 main crystal systems that all minerals neatly get organized into, and certain crystal systems can actually denote certain energies. So the crystal systems, it's kind of hard to explain, but they align themselves in certain angles, and it's actually the geometric molecular structure of those minerals. and there's different ones. For instance, quartz has a hexagonal crystal system. And we have an author that we like very much, Richard Gerber, Dr. Richard Gerber, late Dr. Richard Gerber, who wrote Vibrational Medicine. This is actually one of the texts in my Certified Crystal Healing course. And he actually said when atoms of light consciousness come together and coalesce, and that's what we're talking about. When we're talking about crystal systems, we're talking about bringing together atoms of light consciousness, coming together and coalesce as in the form of a crystal. There is created a body of energy which expresses a definite vibrational pattern. And that quote right there totally explains why going to the crystal system for seeing what kind of vibrational frequencies does this crystal system bring about. What kind of vibrational frequencies does this crystal system bring about? That is the best explanation I ever heard from that one by Dr. Richard Gerber. I really, really like that. So that's one way of looking at it. And when you're looking at crystal system, you're actually looking at sacred geometry. And we can go down a rabbit hole, a whole other thing about that. And I've been writing a class on that for a while, but we do definitely get into that in my courses. I love talking about sacred geometry, but okay, I won't get distracted too much. Let me just see how we're doing on time. All right. Another way you can work with your crystals, and this one is really easy. Really, really easy. And a lot of you who are here probably already know about this, have done it, or have heard about it, or this might be new to you, but it is an easy way to work with your crystals, is to work with the chakra colors, because color is light energy. Light energy is just a vibrational frequency. It's just another kind of vibrational frequency, or a variant on a vibrational frequency. So if you know the different colors of the chakras, you can just easily, very, very easily choose a crystal of that same color because it's the same vibrational frequency that it's reflecting out. And it will help bring in those vibrations that you're looking for. So different colors and different chakras are actually linked up with different or specific body parts. They're linked up with specific body functions and specific emotions. And they are really great because they categorize different aspects and they allow us to focus on those different aspects or focus on one aspect at a time and improve it really, really well, really efficiently. For instance, if you want to work with the third eye, we know to go to the indigo colors. So I'm just looking at my iolite pyramid here, which is an indigo color. I don't know if you can probably see that color true right here in the camera. But just knowing that it's an indigo color, this isn't always 100% the case, but you can pretty much gather that all your indigo crystals work really well with the third eye. And like I said, this is a really easy way to choose or tap into the crystal energy and choose which crystals you should be working with. Or could be working with. I don't like to say should, but so there's many different ways of tapping into that crystal energy and deciding which crystal you can work with at that time. All right, so for some of you, tonight, when all this information here will have been enough to get you started on your path to working with crystals and the information that you already know, and I love doing these Crystal Healer Hangout events. Because I'm able to, bring more information, bring some things to light, and I'm able to help you with that. And I'd love, the one thing that I'm here on this earth to do, I know it for certain, is to share this knowledge and to be a teacher. I've been a teacher for a very long time, and doing this is just my absolute pleasure, So thank you for allowing me to be here with you tonight. For others, you might be looking to go deeper, you might be looking for more. And so what we're going to do now is I'm just going to take a few minutes because I promised to show you where you could get that. So right now we are at 8:32. We've got tons left to cover, and we definitely want to get to that hot little prosperity mojo kit at the end, and we will get to that, don't worry. But if you'll take a moment to jump over to the link that Dawn has put on the bottom of the page under the chat, you can see there's a link there, or you can go to hibiscusmooncrystalacademy.com and go to the link at the top where it says Certified Crystal Healer Course. And that's just going to show you a little bit of information about the Hibiscus Moon Certified Crystal Healer Course. I only open up this course 2 times a year, so I don't talk about this all the time at all. that this is, right now we do it, and in the spring, and we're actually not sure, about the spring right now. I might be changing that up, but I do not do it more than twice a year, that's for sure. And when I say changing it up, we might be moving it, a little bit farther out. So only twice a year we enroll new students, and then it closes up. And people are asking, how can I get in? I didn't know about it, because we are really strict about closing when we close. Well, it's not because I don't, but we simply cannot do it. We run this like a school. I mean, it is a school. It's an academy. We close the doors at exactly the time we say we're going to close it. So right now we're open for enrollment for just one more week, next Wednesday at exactly 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be it, and you won't be able to get in again for at least 6 months later. So, we don't just say it to do it as like a mind freak game or anything like that. We just really have to run it that way in order to do what we do. It's very involved. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that nobody realizes that go along with running this academy, but we love doing it. So I want to share that opportunity with you because I really want to share this information with the world, make sure that you know about it, because so many people will say, I'm on your Facebook page all the time, but you don't really talk about the course except for during enrollment. I didn't know anything about it. I want to know more. So that's what this is for, just real quick to let you know about that and a rundown of what we do. The course, if I say so myself, it's an amazing opportunity. And an even more amazing community. I mean, the community just grew up from it, and it wasn't even, it just kind of sprouted up on its own. And some of the people from the community are here with us tonight. This course guarantees huge results. If you just look at the testimonials on the page, those are unsolicited, and our students just love what the course has done for them and the transformations that have taken place. And due to the format and the content and the way I present the course, it's completely unlike anything else that is being offered out there. And it's the first of its kind, the very first of its kind. You get 18 continuing education credits if you are a massage therapist or Reiki practitioner or yoga teacher that needs continuing education credits. This course is approved and accredited for that, and I'm so proud of that, because we just had to jump through a bunch of hoops to renew our approved provider status, and they keep us on our toes. They really do. But I'm very, very happy about that, because I love knowing that we're bringing a program of high standards, a program with integrity and merit. I'm so, so proud of that. So I know there's a lot of information on that page, so I just want to give you the cliff notes, just the highlights real quick. Even if you already know a whole lot about crystals, many of my students have said they've come away from this course with a whole different perspective, because they have the whole science behind it now, and there's all this extra information to back up what they know. And all of this science helps remove the filter that they had around their intuition. Like, they knew that they tapped into their intuition very easily, but now the filter has gone because they are so confident from the information they learned through the science. That's what the science does for you, really. So there's 8 individual classes, and they're chunky classes filled with a lot of information on crystals and how to incorporate them into your life. And you'll learn the science behind crystal healing while still keeping it fun. And believe me, it is fun. It's a whole ton of fun in there. A whole ton of fun in there. Incredibly in-depth. I packed a lot of information in this, all from the comfort of your home. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can participate any time of the day according to your schedule. You can take classes virtually from wherever you are, and we're an accredited certified academy. It's also really hands-on. We give a lot of experiential exercises. It's action-oriented, a lot of actionable items for you to complete and do. We get in there, we do the work with the crystals, but in a fun way. And like I said, we address the science behind why it works. And when anyone comes along, the naysayers, we give them the 1-2 science punch, and they're down for the count. Anyone ever comes up to me and says anything, like that, even while I was a science department head, you pack the science behind crystal healing and no one can say anything. They're like, oh, well, tell me more. And then their ears open up, their guard drops, and they want to hear, how does this work? Because people want it to work. They want to hear that this does work for them. They just don't want the ridicule that some people in society put around it. So if you have questions, you can pop them into, we have a contact us button at the top, or you can email support@hibiscusmooncrystalacademy.com. All right. And so we have 8 pre-recorded webinar style classes. They're each about 90 minutes. A lot of information packed into each class. They're not short little itty bitty things. There's a whole bunch of class resources. You can download them to your computer or your device and watch them at your convenience. All the course materials are yours to keep forever and ever. It doesn't go away when the course goes away and we take all the stuff with us. No, it's all yours. You keep it. There's unbelievable amounts of class resources, and I'm constantly updating everything with the new scientific information that comes out. It's never stale, it's never old, it's always cutting edge, whatever's up to the minute. We guide you through week by week, and you can do it in 9 weeks if you want to and get certified, if you want to just hunker down and get her done, or you can take a whole year. You can take up to a year to get yourself certified. We have crystal coaches and mentors in there to answer all your questions. We have really fun suggested homework assignments. We don't call it homework, we call it homework. And you have a 1-year membership to our private forum, which is just exclusively for our crystalline cohorts. We call it the Crystal Cave. And the Crystal Cave is just a place of love. It's absolutely just a place of love. And there's a great bonus, too. We also have live events, a Q&A. We do 10 of those a year. It's very similar to this. We just had one last night for our crystalline cohorts, and it was absolutely wonderful. And they're recorded if you can't make the live events so that you get to participate anyway. So with the group support, you get a support group. You're not alone because the students going through, I have never seen a more supportive group of people in my life. The Sparkle team and I say this all the time. Our students are the best ever. They hold you accountable with a group of like-minded people, and they're cheerleading and supporting each other. I've never seen anything like it. It's absolutely beautiful. And that just totally sprung up out of the universe. It wasn't planned like that at all. It just unfurled that way. And that's what working with the crystals does. It just creates transformations, and beautiful, beautiful things like this come about from working with crystals. It really, really does happen that way. You get a total, complete commitment to you in this course, because like I said, it's all about the integrity. And this certification, I've put my heart and soul into this. I've built this course with total integrity. I'm so proud to say that after 5 years of certifying people all over the world, I know with my heart that a graduate certificate from Hibiscus Moon Crystal Academy, I've heard it again and again and again. It's held in really high esteem in the industry, and I'm so proud to say that. So if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see you can do payments, or you can pay in full, and you can save big time on interest. And if you're in the U.S., you can do the PayPal no interest plan. So that's the basic level. You can take it and run with it, get it done in 9 weeks, and that's like the biggest high and a great accomplishment. Or you can take it at a slower pace and take up to a year. And then we have an up level called the Blue Sapphire. If you want more of my one-on-one attention with you, you can go for that. So there are the options. If you're interested, you want to sign up now, because there really isn't much time left. We only have 1 week left. Like I said, enrollment ends on August 27th. August 27th, that's it. We close the doors that night at midnight. So this is so motivating. I really, really want you to succeed, and we support you all the way through, all the way through. If you have questions, just one more time about the course, please email my support team, and we'll get them answered for you. It's support@hibiscusmooncrystalacademy.com. And we're more than happy to talk to you about it if this course is for you. If it's not, it's not, maybe for everyone. I know that. It's not for everyone. But if it is right for you, you're going to feel it. You're going to know. You're going to have that deep knowing, that desire to do this. And this is it for 2014. We are not going to be doing this again for this year. So if you really have that desire, you want to make a change, you want to help others, you want to help yourself through the power of crystal healing, if you know that now is the time, don't ignore that intuitive hit. Pay attention to your intuition. Refer to the information on the page, and like I said, if we can help you, please email us and let us know. There's lots of great testimonials on that page that I'm so proud of. And the biggest joy for me is that so many students tell me that they really have had their lives completely change after becoming a CCH, Certified Crystal Healer, a Hibiscus Moon Certified Crystal Healer, because they can present so much information and change other people's lives and minds. And I'm amazed and grateful every single day over this. over what has come about through the HMCA. This is a huge transformative process, and it's like an awakening. This will change your life. So if you're ready, jump on in. Okay, we're very, very happy to have you. Okay, let's see. Oh, I see people coming in now. Wow, yay! We're so happy to have you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so let's get back to the content, right? All right, so let me see how much time we have left. All right, perfect, perfect. We're right on time. All right, so here we go. Let me get a drink of water. Oh, and look at this. I showed this to Michelle before we started, and don't mind my lipstick on the glass. This is called a Fiolino. It's like a mini little VitaJewel product where they put amethyst and clear crystal quartz in here. They sent this to me, and it's like a portable little VitaJewel thing. You can put it in your glass, and it creates a gem elixir through the indirect method, we call it. So the crystal isn't actually touching the water, but still putting its energies into the water. Okay, I just did a whole lot of talking there. I need a lot of water. Okay, so let's get back to the content. All right, you ready? We're going to rock it now. All right. So now to reveal the most important component of crystal healing. The most important component of crystal healing, make you really effective crystal healer. And when I say crystal healing, some people don't like that term. I use it because it's a very common term. A lot of people understand what you're talking about when you say crystal healing. Maybe the more appropriate way to say it would be crystal therapy, because you're not, you know, always healing a physical thing or actually healing, but sometimes you're just, you know, actually balancing or maintaining a balance. That's always our goal, is maintaining an energetic balance. That's kind of hard to get across, so we just use the generic term kind of crystal healing. But the most important component of getting that right, of being an effective crystal healer, is your confidence level. Your confidence level is absolutely key in doing this work, because you know how it is. When you feel confident that what you're doing is working 100%, you know 100% that your intention is in total alignment with your belief system, you know what you're doing is working without a doubt, it's going to work 1,000 times better. You know that. It's going to work 1,000 times better than if you have doubt in the back of your mind. Belief can be difficult, but it's the best power boost to whatever you're doing. Because when you really truly believe in what you're doing, there is no doubt. Doubt is gone. It's not even, you know, it's just gone. It's not there at all. Believing, there's no wavering. Believing is absolute faith in what you're doing. And when you have that filter that you might have there with your intuition that doesn't allow you to tap into your dominant clair, that filter disappears. And we were just talking about this last night, actually during our Q&A event that we had for our crystalline cohorts, our students, with Dr. Conover, the intuition physician. We were just talking about this, that once that filter, you know, once you have confidence in what you're doing, that filter just dissolves. It dissolves, and then you know to trust your intuition 100% every single time. You never doubt it. So your confidence level is absolute key. When you master believing, because your confidence level is so high, you know you can trust your intuition without a doubt. Without a doubt. And then you've mastered crystal healing. And the thing that will allow you, you know, there's lots of things that will allow you to boost your confidence level. One thing, and it's not the only thing, but one thing that will definitely do it is knowing the science behind how and why it works. Because the science, like I said before, opens doors for other people. And once you know you can easily open the door for other people and open their ears and get them listening, your confidence level soars. So I feel your confidence level is absolutely key. Absolutely key. So I would love to see your comments on that and see what you think about that, because we just hear it over and over again. You know how it is when you know something, and you know, some people might say it's the placebo effect. Oh, you know, placebo, nocebo. You know, Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about the nocebo effect. Here's the thing: when you know something is going to work, it doesn't matter if it's placebo effect. You might have heard this story before. Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about this all the time. He's an epigeneticist, and there were people having knee surgery done. Okay, they needed knee surgery. They all had knee problems, and they needed knee surgery. And so they did this experiment on them on the placebo effect, or actually nocebo effect. And they actually, divided them up. They had the control group. They had the group that they did the knee surgery on, and then they had a group that they told them, you're having the knee surgery done. They actually did the incision, but they didn't do the surgery, and they didn't tell them that. And they allowed everybody to heal. And there was the group that didn't have any surgery done at all, the ones that did have it done, and then the ones that thought they had it done. And the group that thought they had it done had just as much healing as the group that did have the knee surgery done. The group that didn't have the knee surgery done but thought that they had just as much healing. So who cares how it's happening? And I don't feel that's the only way that crystal healing is happening, but I'm saying who is it, who are we to poo-poo on placebo effect if it works? Because that just shows you the power of the mind in helping us to heal and having confidence. That just proves all of that right there. So I love that story. All right, so you guys ready for how to do the Prosperity Mojo Crystal Kit? All right, so you have your pen and paper ready, because I'm going to give you the step-by-step on this, and I want to see pictures. I want to see pictures of your Prosperity Mojo Kits on my Facebook page. Please, I love seeing the pictures of these. All right. So have a few minutes. If you have any questions about the course, please do get in touch at support@hibiscusmooncrystalacademy.com. I'm just squeezing that in there again because we always have some people that are like, oh, I was still thinking about it and I didn't get a chance to enroll. Can you please let me in? We can't. We absolutely cannot. I'm sorry. The course will be closing next Wednesday. I want to make sure that you do get in if this is resonating with you. We will not be enrolling again for 2014. Okay, so we close it on next Wednesday night. All right, have your pen and paper ready? All right, write this down. I'm going to get my stuff so I can show you visually too, so this sticks. All right, you need 8 bills of paper money, and hopefully they're small bills. They don't need to be big bills, so 8 bills of paper money. All right, 8 tumbled stones of green aventurine or pyrite. They don't need to be this big. I'm using my tumbled pyrite in a crystal grid right now, so I didn't want to take apart the crystal grid. Green aventurine, pyrite, or citrine. Okay, and they don't all have to be the same. Just a group of 8 of them, and small ones are fine. Even one like this little is fine. All right. And a green or gold pouch. And a lot of times whenever I give people this recipe, they ask me if the color is important. Yes, I feel the color is important because it has that vibrational frequency that you want to tap into. So green or gold. If you don't have one of these pouches, they usually sell them at New Age stores. You can get a little piece of felt, green or gold felt, and just tie it up into a pouch. At the craft store, they sell little felt squares for like 50 cents or something like that. That will work just fine. All right, so then you're going to take the money, the stones, and set them out in the sun. Just lay out your money, put 1 bill and 1 stone on top of each bill, and then put them all out in the sun for 3 hours before noon on a day where there is strong sun. What you're doing there is you're absorbing 3 hours of pranic energy, strong, intense pranic energy, manifestation energy, strong male energy from the sun. Okay, so lay out all 8 of your bills and all 8 of your stones 3 hours before noon in the sun on a day with strong sun. If you live in a cloudy area where you just don't get strong sunlight, then do the best you can, but try to get it out there on a day when there's strong sunlight because you want to attract and get that pranic energy in there. So 3 hours before noon is when it's strongest. Okay, so after you've done that, take everything, gather it up, and put everything in the pouch. Just roll it all up, put it in the pouch, and take it with you. All right, so you don't want to use really big stones because it's going to be hard to get 8 bills and 8 stones in the pouch unless you get one of those 4-inch or larger pouches, and then take it with you. All right, over the next 7 days, and you might need to put a little reminder on your phone or post-it notes so you remember to do this. So you have 8 bills, 8 stones in that pouch. Over the next 7 days, spend $1 a day, $1 a day for anything that you'd usually buy. Try to go out of your way, you know, if you don't usually spend $1 a day, buy a newspaper, buy a magazine, buy a snack from a vending machine, buy a bus token, do something. And then leave, so one day, say it's Monday, I spend $1 and then take 1 stone and leave it somewhere where you know somebody's going to find it. Okay, or you can give it away to somebody, give it away to a child or something like that. Tuesday, spend another bill, leave another stone somewhere. Wednesday, spend another bill, leave another stone somewhere. So you do this for 7 days in a row. Okay, so now you have on the 8th day 1 bill and 1 stone left, right? Okay, on the 8th day, you're going to gift the last stone to someone. This is with a lot of intention. You're not just leaving it somewhere. You're going to gift the last stone to someone and tell them that it's a lucky gemstone to keep money flowing. Let me say that again. You're going to gift that last stone to someone on the 8th day and tell them it's a lucky gemstone to keep money flowing. You might even want to write that down on a little piece of paper and put it in your pouch so you remember that's what you tell them when you give them that last stone on the 8th day. The 8th bill, keep it in your wallet or in the pouch for at least a year. Wallet is good because that's full of money energy in there. Unless you hate your wallet, then that's not a good idea. Some people hate their wallet because it's always empty. All right, so you're going to keep it for 1 year. And now again, you're going to need to put this in your calendar. At the 1 year mark, you're going to spend the bill. Spend that last bill. This is a very, very powerful exercise. I've done it. I've heard it from other people done over and over again, how powerful it is. It brings in a flow of prosperity. Unbelievable. The more intention you put behind it, the stronger it is. It's a very powerful exercise. Now, why 8? Why 8 stones? Why 8 bills? Because 8 is the lemniscate, or the infinity symbol, and it's got a lot of prosperity energy behind it. It has the energy of infinite abundance, infinite prosperity, and that's what you want to tap into. It's a number 8, or the infinity symbol. It's about giving, and it opens you up to receiving. So you're spending 7 days giving, giving, giving. This energy of giving opens you up to receiving. Okay? I hope you got all of that. And we're going to send a recording out of this tomorrow to your email. So you'll get all this again. You can watch it again. And it's really, really powerful. So I hope you enjoy that exercise and have a lot of fun with it. And just be open to the flow of prosperity and abundance and what's going to come in for you with that. Because it will. Like a waterfall. So that is just a really fun exercise. I love giving that one out. People really, really love that one. And like I said, try to do the smaller stones because I've done this before. And, you know, also they get sort of heavy. You know, the smaller ones, they're more inexpensive. They're more practical to carry around, and you can use a smaller pouch. If you go with the bigger stones, it's going to be heavy, and you're going to need a larger pouch. So go ahead and give that a try. Okay, I want to say namaste. I am so grateful that you were all here today, and so honored that you all joined me for this special event. This has been such a joy. It always is when I do these with you. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. I cannot wait for those of you who've already enrolled, or for those of you who will be joining us in the Hibiscus Moon Certified Crystal Healer course. We'll be starting on September 1st. But it closes next Wednesday, August 27th. Big, big transformations. Get ready for big dreams to come true for 2014. This is the last go for 2014, so I'd be happy and very, very happy to see you in there joining us. If you need someone who's finally going to teach you the science, who's going to sparkle you up and guide you through this and give you the confidence that you've been looking for, I'd be delighted to be your crystal teacher. Like I said, it's my total passion. So thank you all so much for joining me here tonight. Crystal blessings to you all. Mwah. Bye. Bye, everyone. Love you all. Bye-bye.